If cursing is a sign of intelligence, then these two are brilliant. Meet award-winning radio show hosts Jonna and Keryl Pesci as they interview smart people, unwind, and cut loose, and offer up a tidbit or two of advice to help you grab the world by the balls. It's Happy Hour, live straight up, with a twist. Alcohol may or may not have been involved in the making of the show. Please watch responsibly.
Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Keryl Pesci here with my co-host Jonna We've got a great show for you today. We're going to have a perfect combination of great content. Specifically, our topic today is dealing with distractions. And also we're going to have some fun and be a little silly because that's just the way we
That's how we roll.
And of course, occasionally curse, and she's going to get into that in a moment. The cursing and what we do with that. So our guest today is Ellen Rohr. She is a business makeover expert, and she's going to be talking about exactly just that, dealing with distractions. I think that's something we all deal with lately.
Who doesn't?
Yes.
One might say this is a distraction. If you're watching at work right now, keep watching. Right. We also have our bleep sponsor for today is IT Visions, which is owned by a man who has been in my life longer than any relationship I've ever had other than with my father, because you need to establish a good relationship with your technology person whenever you own a business. Email problems, website problems, web development. He does it all. Matt Charney, I love you, of IT Visions, our bleep sponsor for today, so we need to make sure that he gets his money's worth.
We got to make sure he gets his fucking money worth.
That's
point,
right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because that's the part that won't fly. That's the part that's going to make it worth it.
That's right.
Okay, and who else do we want to... we want to thank our studio audience.
Our studio audience.
Yep. Thank you for joining us and taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to be with us here in the studio today. Appreciate that.
Speaking of studio audiences... Audience-I.
Yep.
Speaking of studio audiences.
Plural of audience.
It's audiences. Hey, if you want to be our studio audience, you can. And the quickest way to get from where you are into our studio audience is to send us a fabulous and funny video, no more than
7-10 seconds.
Yeah, maybe 15. And if we love it, you can be our studio audience. Go to our Facebook page, and since I don't even know the name of our show,
TV.
Thank you.
Go to our Facebook page, NetChicks TV, and post a brief video there if you think that's something. And be funny about it. Be creative.
Yeah.
As you'll see, if you haven't figured it out already, we do not take ourselves too seriously.
No, but no porn. Please, no porn.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Yeah. Or try to.
And there's one criteria. Make sure when you do this that you hold your phone sideways, okay? We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Really?
Really.
You had to go there.
Exactly. We absolutely had to go there. All right. So speaking of go there, really thank you for that, Sigu. I find it really funny because you have a few more pet peeves than I do.
Just a few.
Things get under your skin a little bit more easily than they do for me.
Yes.
And one of the things that bugs you is when people post foodie pics on Facebook. So lo and behold, I'm scrolling through Facebook the other day, and you, my friend, posted a picture of food.
I did.
So what's
that? I did. All right. So first of all, I fucking hate food pics on Facebook. With the exception of my really good friend Kim Hart will occasionally give us a video of her meatballs bubbling over, which near and dear to my heart. I'm cool with that.
Anything that has to do with balls really is okay. Like, that gets you a free pass.
Totally fine. But when you're posting your fucking salami sandwich...
It's a sandwich.
Salami sandwich for all the world to see on your paper plate. And, what could you possibly say about it? It really irks me.
Okay, so then why were you posting food pics? What would you get the free pass for?
I had a really good reason.
I couldn't even tell what the fuck it was that was even on the plate.
And that's why I posted it.
I still don't know.
All right, so I don't care about your salami sandwich. I don't want to see your scrambled eggs and toast. Boring. But I was at a restaurant the other day when somebody ordered something that I had never actually seen in real life before prepared, because it's something that would never find its way into my mouth intentionally ever. So when these things arrived on the table, I was, 1, mesmerized, 2, grossed out because they were gross. So I had to take a picture.
What were they?
All right, let me just ask you something.
Okay.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
3
Go.
foods in all the world that you will find on a menu. 3 foods in all the world that you will find on a menu that you would never order. Name them now.
3 that I would never
order.
What? Tripe? What's that?
Oh,
stomach?
is that stomach lining?
Yep. Tongue, sweetbreads.
All right, so you're all about the stomach, the brain, and the tongue you would never order. Let me ask you this. Would you ever eat an amphibian? Pretty sure it's an amphibian, not a reptile. Don't quote me. This is in science class.
I don't know. I would say it's doubtful.
Would you eat a snail? Escargot.
Done it.
Escargot.
I had a few glasses of Chardonnay before I did, and it was all right.
Okay.
It was all right.
Well, this wasn't that. This was frog legs. Frog legs. Maybe a little flour.
Did they
maybe
taste like chicken?
I didn't touch them. They were not good. I told you, never intentionally going in my pie hole. Frog legs. And the worst part about the
She
frog
doesn't
legs.
say that very much. I just got to tell you that.
The worst part
A lot
about
goes in that pie hole.
the frog legs was that, you know, when you see an actual frog and they kind of have their little little frog ankles into their little webbed frog feet. That's
what was on.
included. It was included. Right? So, yeah. So it just totally freaked me out. And for that reason, it wasn't like posting a food picture, because if it's not going in my mouth, it's not food. It was just posting a gross picture at a restaurant.
Oh, so you're putting it under a different category. That wasn't
Yes.
just a food pic. It was this is a disgusting
Gross thing at a restaurant.
Oh, you know what? I love the fact that you shared it with me and a few thousand other people. Yeah.
Yeah, so say if you're, I don't want to see your peanut butter and jelly. I don't care. Right? I don't care. I care about you. I don't care about your TV dinner.
Yeah, which is true. You are a really caring, compassionate person,
Yeah.
unless you post food pics. All right, so enough on that topic. We're so excited to have our next guest. She's been a guest on our radio show multiple times. We absolutely love her energy. She's awesome. She's fun. She may or may not curse, but we still love her either way. Her name is Ellen Rohr, and she is a business makeover expert. And today we are going to be talking about... You're not even serious. Today we are going to be talking about dealing with distractions. Hello.
What?
Hello.
Oh.
We're doing a show here.
Yes, about distractions.
Put that down.
Oh, okay.
Put that down. All right. So, Ellen, welcome to our show. We're so excited to have you with us.
Hey, I love you guys. It's so great to be here. Okay, let's talk about distractions. And I can see that focus may be a challenge for the two of you.
Yeah.
2, 1.
Two.
For
One.
sure.
Okay, just with one. Well, it is for me. I'm like the least likely person to talk about distractions. I'm definitely a shiny objects girl. And my encouragement today is that with a couple of techniques, I have been able to dial it in just a little bit to make some really cool things happen in my life. I grew a franchise from 0 to 47 locations in under 2 years. I've started another franchise, Zoom Drain. Do I look like the president of a drain and sewer company?
No, you do not.
Well, who knew? Who knew? But along the way, what I realized is that my distractible nature was causing me to fail, to let people down, to miss phone calls, to miss meetings. I didn't like the reputation I was developing. And so along the way, I've learned a couple of tools, a couple of tactics that have helped me get dialed in just enough. And my encouragement is you don't have to become this laser focused person. You just have to dial it in a little bit, and life gets a lot easier, a lot more manageable. So you want to hear my tips?
Would love to hear your
We
tip.
would love to hear your tips.
Okay, do you write things down in a notebook? Or are you a Post-it kind of person?
I'm a Post-it person, for sure.
I'm a total notebook girl.
You're a notebook girl.
Absolutely.
Now, the beauty of a notebook is you can shut the notebook, and then it's not shouting at you like Post-its do. So when you put Post-its up, you've got this, like, have you seen the last scene of that movie, A Beautiful Mind, with Russell Crowe. And at the end, there's just like this conspiracy theory thing happening. It's just crazy making, and you look and feel crazy when you have Post-its all over your life. So you might, Jonna, take those Post-its and slap them into the notebook.
Oh, now there's an idea.
Notebooks to you everywhere. But what I also do with team members is if we don't write stuff down, we can't remember it. And then that's when we go, I told her 100 times to do this. So when my team members need to remember something, if they're not writing, I stop talking. So everybody in our organization has a notebook. Now, it can be an electronic notebook. It can be your phone. Where's my phone? See, already getting distracted. It can be your phone. If someone is fast enough to type on their phone, that's legit. If they use something like Trello or Evernote or notes on their phone, that's fine. But if it isn't written, it isn't real. So one way we reduce distractions throughout our organization is that people write stuff down. Isn't this easy? That's a good one.
You know, it's so basic, but, you know, and I think it goes along the lines of that your physical clutter affects your mental clutter. And I think Post-its, while the best of intention to remind you to do something, becomes physical clutter around you. So you can have all those reminders, fine, if you need them, but put them in one place that you can close when you need them off your mind.
But in defense of Post-its, number one, they're easily get ridable. So if you have evidence, you're like, whoop, I didn't do that. Or when you have a bunch and you can kind of use them as this is done, this is done, this is done. For you Post-it people out there.
You keep telling yourself that, sister. You just keep walking that path. Now, this is where I am with my life anymore. It's an AA meeting. Take what you need and leave the rest. I've got more suggestions. Let's see if I can get you with this one. I think you'll like this one, John.
Okay, go for it.
Here's another tip. When someone interrupts you, ask them before you respond. Ask the question, is there anything I can do about this? Just say it in your own head. Is there anything that I can do about this? So if someone comes up to you and says, the UPS guy next door just dropped the box in front of the shop, and goes into like some kind of thing that you may feel compelled to respond to. What I have trained myself to do now is to challenge. Is this involving me in any way? Is there anything I can do about this? And if not, I don't even respond. I smile.
You just nod your head and...
Yeah. Oh, well. And what it does is it just stops a whole bunch of clutter that you don't need in your life. Now, if there is something to do about it, then the next question is, do I have to do anything right now? So I've just gotten a little more discerning about that knee jerk. Somebody says something and you respond. Says something and you respond. So you've got that going all day long. So someone says to you, you know what? Susie didn't do her checklist last night, so we weren't set up to get things done this morning and yada, yada, yada. Now, Susie reports to you, so yes, that is something that you may need to address, but do you have to address it right now? So the first question, does this involve me? Yeah, it does. It's one of your subordinates. Do I have to do anything about it right now? No, I might just write it down in my notebook, talk to Susie about, and then respond to the person and say, thanks for the heads up, I'll address that with Susie, but you don't have to stop everything to go deal with that.
I love that you're saying this, Ellen, because I have become extremely protective of my thoughts and the kinds of conversations I engage in, or if somebody's going to drain my energy, or I don't do multitasking very well, and I'm very aware of that. I crave focus and I work very well under focus. And if somebody's going to take my thoughts and bring them in a whole nother direction, I am very protective of that. It's like my space.
We are soul sisters
because it gets annoying.
This. And we know, like, you get more disciplined about what you eat because you feel better when you eat well. And you know that you need to exercise, and sometimes you don't want to, but you train yourself to exercise your body. But our mind, for some reason, we think it's okay for it to just run rampant. And a little discipline, I used to hate that word and now I love it. A little discipline is what's required. Just stop, take a breath, think about what your response is going to be. So another tip is, you're going to love this so much. Another tip is when someone says, got a minute. You ever got a minute?
Oh my God,
yes.
Keryl, got a minute?
It's never just a minute.
I've trained myself to do this. This takes some discipline, but I even have a little hand gesture. Maybe it's like a timeout. Maybe is my response. Give me 5 seconds worth. Maybe. Give me 5 seconds worth. And someone says, there is a fire in the break room. Okay. All right. All hands on deck. Let's, go deal with that. But then maybe something is like this. I have this marketing idea. I think if we did this and then we did this, it would be really fantastic. To which I can then respond, great idea. You could put that on the agenda for the marketing meeting. Meetings are awesome because meetings are these I know everybody hates meetings because your meetings suck. That's why. Because a meeting is an opportunity to communicate about a focused topic with the right people. So if you save it for the meeting, we're going to meet tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 or whatever, that's our marketing meeting. Would you put that on the marketing meeting agenda? And then you may make your Google calendars available so someone could add that to the marketing meeting, or you might use an electronic list building app like Evernote. We use Trello. Everybody uses Trello at Zoom now. Yeah, with the discipline, yeah, it gets messy, but this allows us to then keep lists and agendas for the meetings so that you don't have to deal with something right this second. Great idea. Can it wait for the meeting? Great. Would you put that on the agenda? Awesome. I don't do much of anything anymore, which leaves me with this big open space between my ears to be creative and thoughtful and to think about what we want and to beat the drum as the president of the organization. When you get stuck in all the GATA meetings all day long, before you know it, it's 5 o'clock, and then it's Friday, and then you're catching up at night or on the weekends, and you're hating life. Reducing distractions is up to you.
And then it cuts into your happy hour on Friday, and that's not good for anybody. It really isn't. Okay, so you have one more tip for us, right, Ellen? And I'm sure it's going to be a good one.
One more tip. You're going to love this one. I hope you love this one. John, what do you think of this? If you're getting distracted, you're being distracting.
Oh,
what comes around goes around. Oh, you are so much fun. See, what I used to do more of, less of now, that I've become conscious of this, is that I would walk into the office and go, Susie, what do we have in AR? Now, Susie may be working on payroll or doing something that, I've asked her to do, and now she's interrupted and has to stop everything. And by the time she even gathers the information, I'm on to the next thing and don't even look at it. So Susie has the right, she has the responsibility now to time me out. Maybe. Do you want me to stop doing payroll to address this, or could this wait for the financial meeting, which is Thursday at 10 a.m.? Now, some things can't wait. If somebody bounces a check, we would have to get on it right away. But most of the time, we make emergencies out of non-emergencies, and it starts with me. So watch what you say. Keryl, I'm so sensitive to what you say, and so often what we're saying is just stream of consciousness garbage, like trash-talking employees, trash-talking customers. These things waste time, start all sorts of distracting conversations, and don't help you get what you want out of life. So gain clarity about what it is that you really, really want, and then think and select which thoughts you'll actually speak, and it will reduce so much distraction in your life. Then you'll be able to enjoy happy hour without so much nonsense.
Before, I know that we have to wrap up here, but I have a very specific question that I would love your expertise on. Okay, so you're talking about in the workplace, these are great tips on how to handle the distractions, and I get that. But what about hypothetically? Like, let's say before we started filming this, I had a client and then another client text me out of the blue with questions that I do at some point want to answer, but could not answer at the moment. And now it's on me to not forget to answer, because if I forget to text them back, I'm the bitch. What do we do with that?
Well, the prevention is worth the pound of cure here. So when you set up relationships with your clients, meetings are good to establish the expectation. Hey, I'm a busy girl and I don't respond instantly to emails or text. Text is best for me, and once a day I will get back to you on your text. If it's an emergency, you can text and I'll do my best to respond to you right away. But an emergency is, now this is a girl who deals in emergency work. Someone is bleeding out. Someone is not breathing.
bleeding out.
You've got a clogged drain and a house full of people. These are emergencies. We make emergencies out of non-emergencies because they're disorganized. So one of the things we've started doing with our vendors, okay, because vendors aren't necessarily very organized, right? Your subcontractors, your other relationships, even your customers, you might say, we're going to use a Trello board to communicate. We're going to use Evernote. I'll respond there. I'll load up the files there. That'll give you a chance. You can lead, I call this leading up. You can lead up when it comes to your teammates, your vendors, your customers, and establish how you will be communicating with them. Just because she kicked you in the stomach doesn't mean you have to punch her right back. This is where you have the opportunity to make some decisions, right? Now, if we have time for this. I am really sensitive to this because my husband's partner at age 33, it's going back a long time ago, but I've never forgotten it. He worked himself into a health crisis and he died. And the last words he had said to me were, if I don't do it myself, it'll never get done. And it got done or it didn't, but it was not worth it. And you will sacrifice your health and your relationships with these distractible behaviors. And my encouragement is that this will help you just dial it in a little bit, not make you someone you're not, but just give you a little more breathing space in your life so that you can get more of what you want and less of what you don't.
I love it. And I think it also additionally gives you a sense of empowerment. I think it's almost like finding your voice. You're not being rude to anybody, but you're saying, hey, this is what I want. This is what needs to happen in order for that. And you speak up and you set those parameters. And I think people in the end will respect you more. And you're going to be a more effective leader. I mean, bottom line, especially if you're running a company, they need you to do the best job that you can because it's in their best interest as well. So you're awesome, Ellen.
Ellen Rohr, you make clogged drains sexy, all right? You heard it here first.
I love you. Okay, so let's make sure.
I love you. I love you guys. Thanks for the good work you do and adding so much humor and levity to life. Business should be fun, right?
You're right.
That's right.
I agree.
That's our job.
Just tell us your website. We'll make sure a graphic.
EllenRohr.com. You can sign up for free business tips. I have a blog, and I get to I'll share your stuff on my blog.
Great.
So there you go. We'll do a little circular love.
All right. We love you, Ellen. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us.
Thanks.
She's awesome. Great advice and so much energy, right?
So much energy.
Yeah, great attitude.
Everybody should have that attitude at work. It'd be a much funner place.
Yeah, and she's always like that.
Yeah.
All right, fabulous. So what's next?
On the loose, of course.
Are we recording?
Wait, I think so.
Are we on?
I don't know. Oh, wait, can you see? Is it moving?
Is it moving up here?
I think it is.
Is the time counter on? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is our second attempt at a video.
Take two.
Take two, but you never saw
No.
the first take because it was on photo, not video.
No.
It's amazing to me sometimes the level of responsibility, the intellect you have, the courage I mean, you're on national television a couple times a week. You run your own law practice, and you can't even fucking hold a camera in the right direction. What?
My fault.
Because tonight this one's in charge of video. Yeah, we don't have the selfie stick.
Get the light.
She was too embarrassed to bring it because otherwise we would have. The light. The light. Bring the light.
Oh my God.
Where's the light?
It's not
do it?
coming. It's not coming. And as you know, lighting
That's
is
what she
everything.
You're worried about the lighting, and yet the viewers are cramping their neck like this.
What's the problem with that?
No problem with that.
I don't see a problem. You see a problem?
All right, so anyway, what we said before that you guys didn't get a chance to hear is that we are on our way to see one of our favorite guests, Jen Sincero.
There's the light. Yeah, she's a badass. She's the author of You Are a Badass, and more recently, like today, releasing her
Today.
latest book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. She's been a guest on our show a couple of times. In fact, we had her before the book was even available. We didn't have her, we had her on.
We had her first.
Who the fuck did I have first? Jen Sincero.
I had her first?
We were talking about her being on our radio show first, but the way you said it, you said we had her first, or I had her first. We had her first. It was a threesome, apparently.
Oh my God. Well,
We had her first.
Next time, I'll say stuff before I have 8 tequilas.
So we love her, and we are on our way to go see her, but what's going to happen first? Tell me what's going to happen first.
So first, we're gonna get all lickied up. Here's the fun part. Jen's never met us in person. No. So when we show up like really schnookered, she's not gonna know who we are. And
If I'm drunker, I'm going to say I'm Jonna.
right, and I'm gonna say I'm
That's my
Keryl. So we're on our way there, and okay, so we will check back with you from the bookstore.
All right, so I think one of two things needs to happen. Either I get full and total camera control going forward, or we get you a little lesson. We bring somebody in and teach you the mechanics of proper videotaping.
Oh, like that's gonna be so hard. Here's camera. Face it that way. Press the button. There's your tutorial.
She fucked it up right there.
Tutorial that.
Did you see how she held that? She already fucked it up. Hold the camera. Nope. Hold the camera. Sideways.
God wanted it to be
Like
sideways. We wouldn't talk like this.
That's never what he said.
you know what?
Nobody ever said that.
Yeah, bring on
That never did
your
happen.
tutorial.
It's not that complicated.
I had a 50-50 shot.
Well, I know you do good when you go to Atlantic City and roll the dice. This time you didn't. All right, so maybe we can get somebody to give you a little training on that. All right.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
You can't be great at everything.
All right, that's a wrap. Make sure you like this video, follow us here, subscribe to our channel here, NetChicks TV, and also you can get more information at our website, netchicks.tv, and also our Facebook page,
Right.
which is, guess what? NetChicks TV.
Who knew?
See you next time. Here we go. All right. Was that up to?
It's because we don't have a board.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
All right, fabulous. So, what's next?
We got stuff.
What is next?
I have no fucking idea.
Oh,
All right, quick, talk to me.
dirty or just?
Your ass looks great in
It
those
really
jeans.
does.
That's
No.
your neighbor with the round pool.
Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Keryl Pesci here with my co-host Jonna Spilborn.
Did you trill your tongue?
What's that supposed to do?
It loosens up your tongue.
Oh, it does. It's probably good for tasting wine
There's
too.
such a thing as a stiff tongue? Mine's not.
You know, cut it out, because you know you do workouts with that thing. Jesus Christ. All right.
Okay.